Hey guys, so as promised, I'm making a video about how to hold the A site and how to hold passively on A. I've already made one about B, and now I'm doing one about how to hold A. Now A is a little bit more complicated because there's two ways to get aggressive instead of one, and also there's three ways, three or four, basically three, to play passive instead of two. So the two ways you can get aggressive are pushing mid with a lot of times there'll be a nade and then someone will flash over and just for the ramp hopper, and then you flank and shoot B, and then you just hold bottom mid. Probably smoke that off, and then you pinch B or pinch banana with the B players unless they rush, and in which case you flank quick. And then you basically have to trap them in apartments. So you give them the A site and you give them apartments, but hopefully you get enough kills that you can retake A. That's kind of the whole deal about playing aggressive. The other option is to get up here and throw this smoke. Sometimes you can peek right before the smoke, especially if you have an op. So peek out here, so if you jump, and then throw a nade, Vexy, just like normal, and then you peek this angle. And often if you do that, you'll have another player, Boiler, who will come up here and spot. It's much more dangerous. It's more of an eco strat, but it can be done. But I will rarely call it, especially if mid pushes are working. Anyhow, so then there's three passive setups. There's sort of a retake, which is where you double up apps. There's the double pit, and then there's the triple apartments. Now, we've been having trouble with the triple apartments, even if it's the right call, because we haven't rehearsed it. So here we are. This is the video, and now we're going to rehearse it. So for the double arch, it's pretty easy. This is where you'll usually have an opper and a rifler, or a couple of deagle players. One guy here, and then one guy in the cubby. And what you're doing is you're hoping that they try and wrap you. So you're hoping that they smoke porch and they push up. And if they, the problem is often they can smoke you off arch, and then you're kind of stuck. A couple of things you do if they smoke arch is you can boost over these smokes. So if you have two here, boost someone, and then you can get a kill as they as they're pushing arch. You can get a shot off and then fall back. And then obviously you can hold this so that when they attempt to push into the pit, you can hold them off. And what the third guy's job will be in this setup is the problem with being this third guy is you're alone. You're totally alone. If they smoke arch, it's going to be a 1-on-4 for this site. So you start off helping spot mid, help spot boiler. You can molly anything to help support your arch guys. You can listen for apartments. But if they're coming out apartments, your job is you can delay using a nade like that. You can delay using a nade like that. But your job is to fall back into sight. And often you'll go to ninja or mid sight, or if you can get all the way to moto, all the better. Because the idea is we want you to survive and hold moto so that the retake is like a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-5, something like that. Because you don't want to retake A in a 3-on-3. You want at least 4 players alive to retake A. Just because of how many, like you have to clear apartments, porch, pit, and arch if they push into arch. So the idea is that we can hold arch first of all, and ideally we'll be able to hold pit as well. So then we only need to worry about apartments and porch. Then obviously site. But site is actually pretty easy to hold if you just run at it with numbers. It's the other places where you just need someone spotting it and then someone else to swing and peek. What else? So as the third guy, a lot of times his instinct will be to play pit. And the problem with that is, as soon as they smoke arch and you're alone, you can get one kill for sure. If you hit a nice shot, you can get two. You're not getting three, and you're definitely not surviving. Because what's going to happen is after you take that first shot, there's already a molly on its way, and then you're going to have to peek and kill one as the molly lands. So then you're going to get flushed out here, and you're going to get rushed. So you're just going to die. And once you die, then they can run into pit. Like they can smoke moto, run into pit. Maybe one of your arch players bails you out and gets a kill. But most likely, if the third A guy dies, they're taking pit. And then we need to clear pit, apps, and porch when we're retaking A. Even though we have 4 alive, we have one more thing to clear. So as the porch guy, if they smoke arch, you're probably dropping your smoke if you haven't already and falling back into sight, and you're trying to prevent them from pushing into pit. If you can prevent the bomb plant, all the better. But your primary job is to delay them from pushing into the big pit. And you will have support. The arch guys should be here, like peeking angles such as these, to help with you holding the site. If you're very lucky, they'll smoke that, which means you can push into a really obnoxious angle like this, where you can shoot them coming out of the balcony. So that's the first setup. It's the double arch setup. The second of the 3 setups is the double pit setup. And this one usually, for the arch guy, it's totally normal. Arch is very often, well, the arch guy, it's actually very hard to kill him. So one thing I would say is don't play this angle, because you're going to want to be able to fall back. But use spot mid, use your util. What else? Yeah, and if they smoke off porch, then run here because you're going to be alone. If they smoke arch, then fall back to moto. In which case you're honestly pretty safe, because the other 2 A players are going to be in the pit. So they're going to be holding. You can either do 2 here. You can have like 1 here. Where's the fucking bike? There it is. Like hold here and here. So one of you watches porch, the other watches apartments. Or you have like 1 here, 1 like out here and out here. Like there's just a ton of ways to play this. Would I recommend this? Nah, not really. If you want to do 4A, then maybe you can have like a third player here. So you can have 2 in pit, and then 1 graveyard, maybe with a deagle, and then 1 arch. So that could be a good eco round strat. Anyway, but it's pretty straightforward. Like the complicated part is the arch guy, because the arch guy just has to know not to die. Because if he dies and they wrap B, B is just fucking boned. But even if they try wrapping, if you're double pit, you can deal with an A wrap really easily. So that's the simplest of the 3. And the last one I want to talk about is pushing apartments. Now you can either do this with 3A if you all push apartments, or you can do this with 4A where you have 3 in apartments and then 1 holding this kind of an angle. Because the downside is if they come mid and wrap you apartments and split apartments that way, that can really destroy this setup. Which is why I've been calling 4A, if we're going to stack apartments, is to mitigate a lot of that risk, is to turn the risk into, can we hold B? And often, since our best player is on B and our best player ops, it's a pretty pretty safe bet that we're going to be able to at least hold B for a little while. Especially if the T side isn't using much utility. So here's how you play this. The setup is a little difficult because you don't want to let them know. So either smoke this right away and cross, but what I actually prefer is if you just run around the back. Like if we have 3 guys running around here, that's fine. And then obviously push up this way. Or come around, check for any mid utility, and then boom, now you're in boiler. You're holding this kind of a headshot angle. And then you can swing on the bedroom guy if you need. And then the mid player it's much better to hold a passive angle here because if they rush you, you don't actually want to fall back. Like if they smoke mid and wrap this, that's actually fine. Like if they kill you and wrap B, that's probably okay because the apartments guys can push down mid and we can have 3 guys on B by the time this terrorists get there. And if they try and wrap A, then when they plant, we just kill them from apartments and porch. So the problem is you don't want 4 MAC-10s to run up top mid and then wrap into boiler. So you'll be playing something like this. It's also better to have a rifle than an op in the setup. An op is actually better in the long haul area in this particular setup, or on B if we only have 1 op. And if we have 2 ops, yeah, long haul would be better. What else? Okay, so where to play in the apartment. So as I already said, the boiler guy will be here, and you do have to pivot and check, make sure mids, make sure you're not going to get rushed from mid occasionally. It's not really worth it to hold this angle, just because you get pre-fired that way. But if you play up against this wall, that means the terrorist has to peek out. He has to peek out like this, and he's not going to want to do that because there could be someone here or an angle like this. All right. One concern that SAG brought up last night is, what about this spam? How do you deal with this? And I'll show you. So this is the tightest angle you can spam. I know it looks like this is, but that actually hits the cinder block and won't work. So that's the tightest angle right there. See, when I shot further to the left, it hit right there. Didn't work. Oh, that was a bit high as well. But anyway, so with that spam right there, it won't hit you right here, and it won't hit you over here. So wait a second, see if they're spamming. If they're not, cross to this side right away, and you're effectively safe. If you walk up along this side, you're not safe. So stay on the left. Once you're here, you're going to want to peek this for sure. So you're going to want to hold these 2 angles. Or you can both walk down the stairs like this and shoulder peek a little bit and then fall back and hope they chase you, that kind of thing. So if you hold right here, that's how you get traded. Because what the T's do if they're using utility is they're going to molly that, then they're going to hold, see if there's anyone boiler. Okay, then someone's going to come out bedroom, and they're going to wait for the bedroom guy to get here, or he'll walk up, he'll see you, he'll shoot, and then this guy will swing. So then you have an even 2v2 fight. You don't want that. So you want to push up so you can get a 2v1, fall back. Take a position like this. Take a position like this. Get another 2v1. After you get 2 fights, you're kind of fucked. Like, you're not going to be able to fall all the way back. I mean, maybe you can drop a molly and then fall back, but they might even push that to try and get the trade. Because you can, with an AK, you can peek into it, get a headshot, and fall back before the molly kills you. And then the boiler guy is here helping helping with this angle, and also helping in case there's someone in the bedroom. And then when this fighting is going down, he swings, you want someone boiler to shoot that guy in the back. The only problems you want to watch out for, this spam, it's very annoying. Comes right through there. So you don't want to stand in this kind of an area. You want to stand here, because the only spam that will get you at that point is if they're in boiler right here and they shoot like that. At which case that is an easy kill for this guy, because he just goes whoop, gets some bullets into you, and he can even just run away like before, because the guy's he's not gonna 180. He's not gonna do one of those and get you. I mean, he'll probably have a higher sensitivity than me, but even so, like, he might get a couple of bullets into you, but he's not going to get the insta headshot unless he's like, I don't know, Nico. So those are the three setups. We've got the double arch, double pit, and the triple apartments. And this is how you vary your game on the CT side of Inferno. Because as I said, there's only 2 aggressive ways to push. Well, 3. There's only 3 aggressive ways to push on Inferno, and one of them really sucks. So if the mid and the B pushes aren't working, do these.